Over the weekend, it sunk in that they're killing off our show. But they made one mistake. They left me alive.
So funny. The late night gloves are off. That's according to host Stephen Colbert. The comedian saying the next and final 10 months of his show will be unvarnished truth about how he really feels about President Trump. During Monday's monologue, he thanked CBS for being a great partner. The network saying the reason for canceling the show was, quote, a financial decision, but Colbert didn't hold back when mocking that reasoning earlier this week.
Over the weekend, somebody at CBS followed up their gracious press release with a gracious anonymous leak saying they pulled the plug on our show because of losses pegged between $40 million and $50 million a year. $40 million's a big number. I could see us losing $24 million, but where would Paramount have possibly spent the other $16 million? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of course, Colbert is referring to the lawsuit settlement between Paramount and President Trump. The network paying $16 million after Trump filed a lawsuit claiming they misleadingly edited an interview with former Vice President Kamala Harris on 60 Minutes back in October. Colbert's cancellation is creating outrage from fans, several protesting outside the Ed Sullivan Theater in New York City, calling for The Late Show to continue and Trump to be canceled. Colbert even getting support from other late-night hosts, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, John Oliver, and Jon Stewart, all making appearances this week in the audience, a show of solidarity between late-night show hosts.
But they, too, could find themselves in the hot seat. President Trump posted this to Truth Social saying, quote, the word is, and it's a strong word at that, Jimmy Kimmel is next to go in the untalented late-night sweepstakes, and shortly thereafter, Fallon will be gone. These are people with absolutely no talent who were paid millions of dollars for, in all cases, destroying what used to be great television. It's really good to see them go, and I hope I played a major part in it. Now, actor and comedian Rob Schneider told reporters the late-night landscape is changing and that cancellations were bound to happen.
No offense, but they were going to go away anyway. So I think that was just... because people are looking on their phone now. I mean, they do watch Netflix, but they'll tell you Netflix, they'll watch for 2-3 minutes. If they don't like it, 30 seconds, they switch. So the attention spans are less.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, late night used to be the business of prestige, right? It was the big money business when there were less opportunities. And for context, like they said they lost $40 million. I think Amazon is spending $40 million on an upcoming documentary about Melania Trump. So that goes to show you new media is taking over in its own ways. And people are finding new ways to watch things. Now, I think Colbert is going to be fine. I think he's extremely talented and hilarious, as you saw. I was cackling right at the top of this story. It's very funny to me. But I do...
laughter goes to die.
No, you tried to hold it in so bad. You like literally couldn't even control yourself. I know you think he's hilarious too. So I think he's going to be fine. But late night TV has to really look at itself as a landscape and say, what's the relevancy anymore, especially as younger generations turn, different ways to finding media and older generations are, watching or not watching anymore. You have to think about what this next iteration of where the go-to platforms are. We saw that during the election. The go-to platforms aren't where they used to be.
Right. It's YouTube. That's the future of the world. It's YouTube. There's nothing else. It's YouTube. If Rising was losing $40 million a year, I hope someone in our corporate landscape would euthanize this program. If we had a staff of 200 people, he had a staff of 200 people. Can you even imagine that?
That was lovely.
I don't even,
So
I can't even conceive of how you would. There's almost too many people to make a show. You would lose track of who was doing what. We make it work on a fraction of that. We have a fantastic team here. Look, this was coming. The writing was on the wall. I find some of these people funny. Look, I'll admit I find John Oliver funny, even though I totally disagree with his politics. I think Jon Stewart is funny and also interesting. I don't think Stephen Colbert is very funny, and Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel I have never laughed at once in my life. That's just how it is. Fine, people may feel differently. This was going to change, and the idea that it's fine to show industry solidarity with all the other late night hosts being upset about this because they're friends and it's the industry. That's fine. Why? Tell me why. Why does every Democratic senator need to express some view that this is some travesty, like they consider themselves doing industry solidarity, their industry Democratic party is synonymous with late night. I mean, I think that goes to show you the problem that Elizabeth Warren is really worked up about this. Please retire from the Senate and appoint yourself head of programming at CBS then, if you feel so strongly about this.
I think it's more of the closeness to
Senator.
understanding that because of this Skydance merger, I believe, with Paramount, there is an interest in CBS or Paramount as a bigger company behaving in a way that's conducive to what President Trump would like, an ideal. And so by accepting a fault or just settling the lawsuit over the small edit in 60 Minutes, it was an egregious error, opening an endless door of a spiraling where networks continue to cower to the president. And so Elizabeth Warren probably less talking about this specific situation and more talking about the overall landscape of where we're going by sending this message that right after Trump doesn't like something and then you speak out about it, you get canceled. You can't help but tie the political dots or connect the dots there. But there's also truth too that the late night is dying and that, it's an industry that slowly is changing. And so I think both things can be true, but why politicians are getting involved is because a politician got involved first, which was President Trump, which makes it within their jurisdiction to have conversations about and be interesting to people. Now, what Colbert did is basically come at his employer on television often about multiple things. And that has been like this shtick for late night because management changes, right?
I would never do.
Yeah, management changes over time, and sometimes institutions stay the same. But when the institution is not making money and not bringing in the money that it used to, then it's not the authority or powerhouse that it used to be. So you need to also consider when you're working for a company that isn't your own, that perhaps there's rules you need to follow. And if you go too far, that your show can end or any job can end.
But people are asserting without a shred of evidence that this is about appeasing Trump, canceling a pro-Trump or an anti-Trump voice.
Trump almost connected himself to it.
Virtually
So
the same time
he went
this
on
was
Truth
announced,
Social.
Paramount, I saw this news yesterday.
Okay.
Paramount has acquired streaming rights to South Park for $1 billion. South Park mocks Trump a lot. In fact, in much more vulgar terms than Stephen Colbert can get away with. Now, South Park also
mock everyone.
They mock everybody.
Yeah, that's important to point
They're
out.
actually funny, unlike any of these late night people. South Park is hilarious and as relevant as ever. So it's not about, but they make, they have their like Mr. Garrison, who's like is the Trump figure in the show. It's very critical of Trump, and it's fine. So I don't find it. It could be to appease Trump, but nobody has any evidence of it. So I would like to see extraordinary claims have evidence to support them. And Elizabeth Warren, again, I brought her up, but huge hypocrite. Democrats who are mad about some network cowering to Trump, it's hypocritical because they want the networks to cower to them. I mean, they sent letters. I remember covering this. Democratic congressmen objecting to Verizon and Comcast and others platforming misinformation, platforming Newsmax and conservative media channels. They wanted to order those companies around about their programming choices. And now they're objecting to this company making a programming choice, maybe to have something connected to Trump. That's exactly what you do all the time. They want to be heads of programming. They want it to be unfriendly to Trump, and they're hypocrites.
We'll leave it there. I disagree.
Up next, Coca-Cola confirming they'll be selling soda made with real cane sugar. Maha Blast. Stay tuned.